What are we doing after the show? Mike and Athena, we go. It's our day off Wednesdays. We're done at 4 o'clock. So we drift down to a little place up the street called Lucy's Lounge, and we check out what's going on there because it's kind of the center. It's a heartbeat of the Tower District, which is the heart of Fresno. So we've asked Frank D. from Lucy's Lounge to come on the show and kind of give us an update what's going on. I want to interrupt here myself. I'm interrupting myself.
Yes.
I got the newsletter today.
Okay.
And it says that the drinks, the specialty drinks that Lucy's made, they've made over 300.
Can you believe it?
They've invented 300 special, what do you call them, craft cocktails, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is 300 cocktails that have been tested and created right there at Lucy's.
They test some on me, by the way.
Yes.
So
you know, we get what we do. We have our trtrusted patrons that we know that. Because you would tell us, you know, I think there have been, because some of those times you taste them.
I taste it, I spit it out.
Because sometimes it's not quite there.
Yeah, they test them on customers. So when you get, when they make it onto the menu, and by the way, it's this first page, right?
Every month.
Craft cocktails. Every month they have like 10, 15 new ones.
Yeah.
And
all the different bartenders, they submit their recipe.
But it's been over, by the way,
Sarah.
Sorry, Michael. It says June up here. So these are the June ones. They've come up for the month of June. And but you guys been over a year then.
Oh yeah, it's been about a year and a half.
So over 300 cocktails have been made, invented really.
Right there.
And then there were sweet, syrupy, I call them girly drinks. Sometimes girls like the sweet drinks, but they're good, solid, good tasting, fresh fruit.
All fresh ingredients. The thing is too, we will have some, maybe one on there that is the sweet or the fruity cocktail, because sometimes people are looking for that. Maybe it's like the gateway cocktail.
Gateway to get them in the door, huh?
Because, sometimes people get very used to, let's say they'll go somewhere. We have some patrons the first time in, and they want, because they'll go to somewhere and they'll order, let's say, a strawberry daiquiri or something. That's their drink. So we have other drinks that are better than the strawberry daiquiri that they've never heard of. And we get to, give them a chance to actually try something new. They feel adventurous. They're here at the we're Fresno's first craft cocktail bar.
First craft cocktail bar.
And so they get to actually, because there's a whole craft cocktail movement. And you Google this, and
it's all over now.
Fresno
started at Lucy's for Fresno.
Well, here in Fresno, and so people could get a chance to try these different cocktails. And like you said, the very first page is always these new cocktails that are put out. And then we also have cocktails that sort of are part of the month, So for the month of June, since we just passed the Pride Parade, we have some Pride cocktails. We have we also throw some classics on there. So these are cocktails that are from the 1920s and 1930s. So we're also giving people a little bit of it. I mean, it sounds funny. And it's really true, though. A little bit of a history lesson. Again, what ends up happening, we kind of tell them a little bit about it. But now everybody has their encyclopedia in the palm of their hand anymore. So while they're sitting there enjoying their drink, you'd be amazed at how many people, because we tell them, hey, this came from France in 1935.
Right.
Before they know it, they've found everything out about this cocktail. And so it's sort of an interesting. They look it up, but the thing is, here, where else are you going to do that? Like literally, where else are you going to do that? So it's a very unique experience, and our bartenders know a lot of this information. It's very, very cool. So.
And going back, my point about the tutti frutti drinks, a lot of these big chain bars, they dump a bunch of sugar in, and it tastes good because it's sugar.
Right.
But you guys, it's fresh fruits and fresh ingredients, and it's really
and it's a specific recipe.
It
is a very, very specific recipe. It's a drinkable gourmet works of art. We'll call them, because they look beautiful too, aesthetically.
Yeah, I know that gorgeous. Sarah Primavera, the lead bartender, the manager, I think she's kind of the lead in making all these, but she lets everybody contribute something.
Absolutely,
all the bartenders are trained to invent stuff like that. So,
and when people submit the recipes. So once they've all been submitted, she can actually scan this recipe, and it's like a gourmet chef would. They could almost taste it. So she'll, some don't make it past the review part of it, but then she makes the ones that are the potential winners, right? And then she tests those out and says, how is it to make? How easy it is? What does it look like? And so she's the sort of the final word in that.
Now in the Tower District, we have a lot of bars. And Lucy's is a lounge. What's the difference? It's very relaxing. The best bar stools in the tower, by
Absolutely.
the way.
Well,
Fresno, maybe.
Well, even if you think of the word lounge and it's in the verb and like when you are lounging, as opposed to, let's say, bar hopping or doing what there's that atmosphere, that feel, that vibe when you come into Lucy's Lounge. Let's say now, I mean, it's hot. It is hot outside, but you come into Lucy's, dim lights, really nice and chill, temperature-wise and vibe-wise. And so it is a much different atmosphere. And because of that, we get a very varied crowd that is, like I always like to say, that we have everybody from the college students to the retired people. All they're having a drink together, but they're lounging. They're lounging.
Relaxing. It's not like there's a bunch of drunks in there. It's just a relaxed, very relaxed, open place. And,
every so often, one of the drunks may find himself coming in, but we're always very nice and pleasant to these people. Before we know it, we've sort of have walked them right out the door. So, but I should also say too, we are in the tower, and there are a lot of bars in the tower. And it's very interesting sometimes, as I'm the marketing director for Lucy's and for the owner. And so because I have to go and sort of research the sort of social media temperature, as it were. And every so often there'll be people will sort of creating rivalries. Well, we like Lucy's better than wherever, right? But the thing is, you will find out if you go around the tower, you're going to see myself, other bartenders, and other cocktail waitresses, barbacks at all of the bars in the tower. We sort of frequent all of them, and we go to there, and I always introduce myself as being from Lucy's, and I go to a bunch of the spots too, and I always have to tip accordingly, right? If I'm going to be supporting Lucy, I've been representing Lucy's. But just so you know, out there is watching this right now, and all of the you come out to the Tower District, and even though I'm out here representing Lucy's, and this is a Lucy's spot, I also like to just really support the tower and say, if you haven't been out to the tower in a while, come on down here, stop at Lucy's, and then stop at a few other spots. I think you'll be surprised, right?
Now, I've tried these craft cocktails. I like to support that because they spend so much time developing those. But I'm a wine guy. I drink fine wines.
Yes.
But I tell you what I've been enjoying a lot at Lucy's is the music.
Every week, Wednesday through Sunday, we have live music. No cover charge, which is nice. And, you can get everything from jazz. There's funk. Tonight, since it's Wine Club Wednesday, we have a piano jazz, David Aus, who will be playing there tonight. And so he adds this really, really cool element to because you go to the wine club. So you've ordered your wine, you're sitting there, you're trying something new. And then he had this real sort of like jazz bar type of piano in the back. And David Aus himself is on NPR. He's one of the hosts on the local NPR affiliate, and he has, he's just a virtuoso on the piano. But tonight, Erin Olds, who's new here to Lucy's Lounge, she is a folk musician, but I really want to emphasize that, a spot that you're going to get quality music. So this doesn't always mean only jazz, doesn't mean only one, and even one kind of jazz.
This is later tonight.
Later tonight from 8:30 until 11. So we have an acoustic series every Wednesday night.
Playing guitar and singing.
She's awesome. Cool. It's folk music. We haven't had folk music in a while at Lucy's Lounge. But the thing is, we have jazz, we have funk. Tomorrow we have Alana Hill, who is Kevin Hill's wife. She's a vocalist, along with Mike Dana, who is an acclaimed jazz guitarist. The guy. So they'll be starting the things off from 6 to 8, but then later in the evening from 9 to 12, The Experience. It's Eva Scow and her ensemble. Just a little bit of everything from jazz to Brazilian to funk. A lot of fun. We have Cloudship, who's going to be here on Friday. They're a local band that has been touring all over. It's indie and it's R&B all wrapped into one. And they do these really interesting things where they'll get 2 or 3 different songs and they kind of combine them into one. And so they'll be playing some chords, but then it's kind of a mashup, right, of different songs altogether. Then Saturday is the Max Hempt Jazz Ensemble. Max, he worked with Ben Boone on his jazz and poetry, and he's an acclaimed pianist, but he's also a multi-instrumentalist. I kind of jokingly, because I make the flyer up that is on the screen that we put on the Lucy's page, and I put jazz from another planet just because they play some straight ahead jazz, but then he's really, he really does interesting stuff with his electronic keyboards too, and just to make it fun anyway. So that's what Jazz from Another Planet is. And of course on Sundays we have a blues jam every single Sunday.
Every Sunday.
So that gives people an opportunity who are part of the blues community who don't get a chance. Right? 4 to 7.
Yeah, I like afternoon. I don't like to go out at 9 or 10 or 11 o'clock at night to see music. I like midday.
Get the midday
Well,
music.
People my age like that.
And there's a lot of people who want to turn in early.
Yeah.
But they still want to go see some live music. So, I mean, like tonight, go from 6 to 8, right? So, same thing, 4 to 7 on a Sunday, go hear some blues. But you're also going to discover blues musicians that you've never heard or seen before, because there are these guys that come out of wherever, and then they get to jam for one song and discover new artists. And that evening, in the Sunday evening, Mr. Leonard, I don't know if you've been on a Sunday night.
Yeah, the DJ.
DJ Mr. Leonard.
The coolest guy
on a
in the
Sunday
tower.
night, totally. I mean, you want to talk about a lounge. It is like super loungy when Mr. Leonard is he's there on Sundays, 8 to 11. It's R&B, it's jazz. It is like this old school deep groove soul. Awesome. So Wednesday through Sunday, no cover charge, but always a very friendly.
Never a cover charge.
Never a cover charge there. Only on New Year's Day. But that is the only day. But you come out there and we have friendly bartenders, and the people who are in there are always friendly, which I like.
Now, if somebody from North Fresno is watching, they've never been there before, how would you tell them to get there?
The easiest way you would get off at the Tower District exit over here on the 180 is probably the easiest. And if you are really, really uncomfortable, there's a lot of people who are still, they're not uncomfortable with, taking the 41 to this to that. So if you feel super, super uncomfortable, if you are in North Fresno, just take Palm all the way down and make a left onto Olive. It's very, very easy.
Actually a good description.
And the thing too is if you take that Palm, it's only going to take you a couple more minutes than taking the freeway at certain times of the day. I'm telling you. So take Palm.
And what would you say Lucy's is near?
Lucy's, we're right in between. The easiest landmarks are Bobby Salazar's Taqueria on one end and Starbucks. We're right in the middle. Lucy's Lounge, right next door to Mamma Mia. You might see the Mama, but right in between Starbucks and Bobby's, essentially at Olive and Broadway.
Yeah,
so if you get yourself to Olive and Broadway, there you are. There's plenty of street parking. We have parking right in the back. So if you're familiar with Irene's or that Starbucks, there's parking right in the back too, and very close.
That Bobby Salazar's is a cool place too. So check him out. He's a nice guy.
He's a real nice guy.
Anyway, so there's cocktails, there's craft cocktails, there's wine, there's fine wine, and I'm a wine guy, so I go to Lucy's because it is the wine place for the tower.
Sure.
I get the what do you call the wine flight? It's because I'm in the wine club. It's $10. Join the wine club. Go in there and just say I want to join.
And it's free to join the wine club.
Free to join. Yeah, why not? And you get a little discount, a little plate of appetizers to go with your wine on Wednesday night. So.
And also, don't forget too. I always like to throw this other part in because every time people come in with a large group, there's always one person who feels inadequate because what they really want is a Bud Light, or they want a Corona, or we have Bud Light, we have Corona, so we got it all in the bottle as well. So if some craft cocktail is not your thing, but everybody else wants to, we've got you taken care of. And we also have the craft beer that is there on tap.
Yeah, they have good craft beer too. I'm into the wine, but they have really good beer, so you could go in there and do a little sampling of beer. So,
and the the other thing too is we always try to encourage people to kind of go outside of their maybe their bar comfort zone, right? Because people always say, I want to order a gin and tonic, I want to order a vodka and whatever. But we have so many variations that you don't even need to get something with the flour in it. Sometimes there's just a different vodka. We have cucumber vodkas and blackberry vodkas and all sorts of very nice high-end spirits to try out. So whatever your favorite drink of choice is, we might be able to make it just a little bit better.
Right. And I'm not a whiskey drinker, but I've bumped into some people who are, and they said that Lucy's is a place to go because they have some very exceptional whiskeys.
Absolutely.
There. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So everything's a Lucy's. Go there.
That's why, we talked about Sarah Primavera earlier. Yeah. She's our bar manager, but I really call her sort of the liquor curator because there are, just in vodka or bourbon or brandies alone, there are hundreds and hundreds of labels, and which means hundreds of variations in quality, right? And so we do have some tequilas that are literally $100 for a shot. We have that available in case you want, the occasion calls for it.
Some people are into their tequilas and they like to taste a different one.
But we also have some very high-end, top-shelf tequilas that are not that high of a price point. So just in trying something, if you like tequila, come in and ask for something that just costs a little bit more from, they say, the Cuervo that you're usually used to somewhere else.
Sample. It's a great place to sample something new.
Try something new.
We are out of time for Mike and Athena Live. I'm going down to Lucy's Lounge right now. Meet me there.
Hey,
Frank
we'll
D from Lucy's Lounge. We'll be back next week, or somebody else from Lucy's is coming. And Sarah and Robbie are coming next week. So we'll see you guys next week. Mike and Athena Live, out.
Bye, guys.